Hey everyone, how are we doing? Elise, good to see you here. What questions are there? It is office hours. Sorry for the small delay right there. Just helping everyone out, answering some questions. What questions do you have right now? They actually changed YouTube just a few days ago. Mubot, you're awake? Let's re-wake you up, Mubot, and give out some points. We got a few people watching right now. I thought I said we have 6. Olivia, good to see you here. What are people working on? If you are a stat 201, if you're 474, 475, 320, 201, let me know. I have great news. I figured out the shiny. Wait, is it the fatal error issue? Did you figure out the fatal error issue? Oh, Thacker, we can do that next. You bet. Did Elise figure out the fatal? What is it, Elise? Elise, this is 100 points going out to Elise right here. 100 points going out to Elise. I think Mubot didn't give out those points yet. Mubot, you're supposed to give out 100 points when I say give out 100 points. For the short ride, we got a lot of great questions. So Elise, explain the. I'm gonna see what Elise says to the issue. Mubot, what are you? You're supposed to be giving out points, Mubot. 1 second, Mubot's gonna give out these points right here. What is the difference between a histogram and a bar chart? Histograms are quantitative, and bar charts are categorical right here. Yeah. Do you want to? Are you all right with talking on stream? Just say yes or no. Are you all right with talking on stream and explaining it, and then we're gonna get this fixed up? I don't care. I'm giving out another 100 points. Elise, you just made my day right. Are you okay with talking on stream? As long as you say, I'm okay with talking on stream, then I'll... Okay. So Elise is going to explain to us, just earning everyone 200 points, and we're going to take all these questions. We had a major issue. Elise figured it out. Here we go. Elise, go ahead and message me on Discord. I've got a lot of messages. Go ahead and message me, Elise, and say like, hey, and then I'll join in a call with you real quick. And then you'll be talking on YouTube. So Elise has messaged, and let me join in. Start call. Here we go. Can you hear me, Elise?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead and explain the issue to us. Let us know.
Go ahead and explain.
Oh, wait. You might want to mute the stream in the background.
You might want to mute the stream in the back.
Okay.
You're good to go.
All right. Okay. So it was the weirdest thing. So I was trying to do my assignment 0 for 474, and every time I was trying to knit it, I kept getting a message saying I needed to update my stringy package. But then every time I would update it and try to knit it again, I would get the same issue. So then I looked into the console, and it said try deleting this, and then it told me to go all the way back into my library, to my locations on my Mac, and then from there to library resources, etc., etc. And so as soon as I deleted that file, I was able to knit it properly, and then I went back to the Shiny app thing and it worked. So I'm not sure how that will help other people if they're not in the same situation as me, but that's how I got it to work. I just had to delete the old stringy package and then just re-download it.
Okay, so it's the string R package, string I package, string E. So, okay, so we'll look into that. And it looks like the Wi-Fi is bad on campus again, which we hate that. Elise, thank you so much. I don't care. I'm throwing the class another 100 points right here. This just completely makes my day that we halfway have this figured out. It's working for one person. A few other people are running to this issue right here. But that's got it. I'll let you go. Thank you so much, Elise. And once again, so do you like Discord? Well, she'll respond in the chat. She already jumped out of the chat. Awesome. I really like Discord. If you can't tell, it's easy for students to come on and just say, hey. But yeah, so we're getting that figured out. Just all these little errors can occur. It looks like it's an issue with string I. We're going to try to get everyone fixed up today in 475. And Elise might have already put that in the 475 chat. The Wi-Fi is absolutely awful. Trevor says, no. And RC, we got a lot of questions right here. Thank you so much, everyone. So that's just figuring out the 475 issue. I see the next question was from Thacker. Says, can we go over 4A for lab 1? I have the answer, but I want to check my code. Thacker, you got it. And then we're going to do Olivia will do visualization 2. We got so much. So right here, and HDT, you are right. The questions are pretty straightforward. So Olivia, your question is next. And we're going to start with Thacker's question right here. Michaela loves Discord. I love Discord too. It's awesome. Let's do some 474 4A. Let's go check it out. Downloading jump when it registers. Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. No need to register jump, Carson. Great question, Carson, right there. 474, question 4A. Do not register jump. Do not register jump. No need to register jump. So you won't need to register jump. And remember, ask those questions. We are going to do some visualization number 2 next. So if you're Stat Tool 1, stay tuned for visualization number 2 coming up here next. And don't register jump. Don't register jump. You bet, Kylie. We can do some homework too also. That sounds like a good option too. So consider the column spent, the total amount. So right here, we're dealing with this lab 1 data, which is the data right here. And we're going to look at the spent column. So can 201 tell me for 20 points, what kind of variable is the variable spend? So we can do a little 201 while we're doing this. The variable spent right here is a what kind of variable. If I go to spend, this is a what kind of variable. 201, do you know for 20 points? Here's a hint, and this is something that was being asked in the chat earlier. That's a bar chart behind me right now. But we wouldn't make a bar chart of spent. We would make a histogram of spent. And I think I can actually make a stem and leaf. Oh, I don't have stem and leaves in here. But we could, or we can make a box plot of spent also. Spent is quantitative. Kylie right there, great answers. Spent is quantitative. It changes me over to that when I do this. So spent is quantitative. Great job, Trevor. It's quantitative. It's actual real numbers, and we can make a histogram of it. So we kind of need to know these things in 474 also. Great job, Hannah. So it's quantitative right here. Real numbers. Consider the column spend. Looks just like an Excel spreadsheet right here. We're going to consider that column the total amount spent over 2 years for each household. What is the grand total of all the money that has been spent among all these households? 201, I bet you know how to code. All we want to do is take these values and what them up. Not add them up, but we want to do what to them. We want to take them, who knows in the chat right now, how we could find out all the amount of money that's been spent by all these households. We don't want to add them up. I mean, we do. We want to what them up. And I'll make this easy. We could just call these values x. So let's just take the what of x. Don't think add. Think another 3-letter word. To not add them up, but something them up. Sum them up. Let's just sum them up. Now this might work or it might not. Let's find out. It does work. It works because there's no missingness. And that's a concept we talk about in 474. And you can actually see it. It's like when you have an Excel spreadsheet and there's missing values. These are missing values where there's just nothing there. We don't have any missing values for the amount spent. If we did, we would get a missing value. But this is just the total amount spent for the data. And this is some coding right here. How does that look right here? Was it, I'm trying to think who asked this. Does this make sense right here? This is how to do 4A for the activity. So 4A for the activity, I think it was Thacker who asked it. How's this looking, Thacker? Pretty good. Miguel, good to see you here. We're about to do some 201. We've already done some 475 and some 474 right here. Thacker says, thank you. We got it. 201, should we do homework 2 or activity 2? 201, I want you to vote now. HW or ACT? HW or ACT? So vote in the chat right now. If you're in 201, do you want homework 2 or activity or visualization 2? VIS, sorry, VIS. VIS or HW? We'll just do it quick and easy this way. So VIS or HW? Sorry, I said activity. I meant to say visualization. I think Olivia's voting for the visualization. Both. Why can't it be both? I got the same answer without the decimal. Does it matter? You should be good. Maybe enter the decimal. Tell me if it counts wrong, I think. It looks like people are saying visualization. Visualization's winning. We'll come back and do the homework. And we might do a little 474 in the process. You never know. So people are saying the visualization. Let's go check out that visualization. And thank you so much, everyone here, for showing up. How many people do we have right now? We got 9 people. I like it. We're about to hit those double digits. Let's throw out some 50 points here for some double digits, people watching. So great stuff. We're going to head over here to 201. I have like all the graphs. I just don't know what to write. Awesome. Let's go check out the write-up and let's go talk about it. Now, when I do these, let me go down to the visualization 2, due next Wednesday. So this visualization number 2, I will be using different data right here, and I need to update my jump license. It's been kind of weird lately. Now, I want you to notice this. How can you make sure you ace the visualizations? How can you make sure you ace the visualizations? Because this, who has a tip for people watching? How are you going to ace the visualization? I think sometimes people skip my advice here. This is the biggest advice I can give you. How can you make sure you ace your visualizations? How can you make sure? Rubric right there. Boom, right there. HCT knows some 20 points for the rubrics right there. Make sure you go ahead and look at that rubric. You should be all right, Michaela. Tell me if it counts wrong or anything. Probably throw in the decimal, like maybe throw in my decimal. We should have a margin of error. I might go check that after this to make sure, like, no decimal needed. But maybe toss on the decimal. Maybe. If it doesn't, it's probably fine. We should have a margin of error. We should. Or I'll be correcting things. So you see right here, you will lose points if you don't include your name. A few people had that with assignment 1. Right here, your random sample, you will lose points if you don't take the proper random sample. You need your bar chart, and you need a proper write-up. You need a pie chart, and you need a proper write-up. And you need a histogram, and you need a proper write-up. You can use Jump. I would suggest using Jump. I do allow people to use R and Python, but that's like only if you're like, hey, I love coding, and I really want to use R for this class. Since I don't teach R for 201, like we don't do it in class. You can do it, but it's only, I would say I've literally had like a dozen students over the course of 3-4 years use R in 201, which they've done really awesome things, but it's definitely not required. It's just like if a student's like really like, I'd really like to use R, then I would do that. So right here, we have the datasets diamonds that we're using again right here. I'm going to use a different data set here in a moment. Yeah, sure. I keep loading the license. My jump is being really weird lately. License loaded. You say, Brian, why don't you load up your license? I've already loaded the license. So here's the diamonds data frame, like diamonds in the sky right here. I'm going to use a different data frame. So that way I'm not doing your exact work. We have a bar chart, a pie chart, and a histogram. So this is the data frame. You need to put your name at the top of the document. Make sure to put your name, watch those videos, and also make sure to take your random sample. Let me get a different data frame going right here. I'm going to use the donor data frame. Yeah, sure, this will be all right. Okay. So I'm using the donor data frame. I'm doing the same sort of work as you. I'm just using a completely different data frame. Does that make sense to everybody? Gets yes or no's in the chat. Like, Brian's going to be doing the same sort of thing you're doing, but not using the same data. Because if I do the same data, I'll probably just be working your assignment. Which, I mean, come on. That's just too easy then. You have to then think about like, well, Brian is kind of doing the same thing as me. He's answering the same sorts of questions, but he is now going to be using different data for this. So with this right here, there we go. I like it looking better now. With this right here, the first thing we need to do is take a random sample. I have 8,000 something. For this, I'm going to take a random sample of 200 plus my UTID. Brian's UTID is, here's Brian's UTID. You ready? Brian's UTID is 5555555. What is Brian's random sample going to be? Who knows what Brian's random sample will be? Think about if my UTID is 5555555, my random sample will be what? Oh, and I'm on, I hate it puts it on. There we go. Live chat. What will my random sample be? Use this instruction right here to understand 200 plus the last 2 of your UTID. What will my random sample be? My random sample will be 255. Great job, Hannah, right there for 20 points. Why is my highlighter not working? That's the real question. There we go. It'll be 255. So don't worry about these other numbers right here. They don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
What your other numbers are. It only matters what the last 2 are. The last 2 right here are going to be the last 2 after the 200. So 255 is going to be my random sample. To take a random sample, just like the first one, we're going to go over here and go to tables. Let me zoom in nice and big so we can see it. We're going to go right here to tables, and then we're going to go to subset. Under tables subset, we're going to go right here to the following and type 255. You can actually hit enter. It'll select it, and then it'll select it. The big thing to make sure you've done right here is to go and look and see that you have a random sample of 255. But make sure yours is your random sample. Mine is 255. Yours might not be 255, unless you have the same last 2 that I do, which you have a 1 in 100 chance of having. So now we need to go and we need to make a bar chart. You have specific instructions. You need to create a bar chart of the variable cut. Your variable will be cut. So if it's a bar chart, what kind of variable is cut? If this is a bar chart, what kind of variable is cut? This is a good test question. since we are making a bar chart of cut, what kind of variable is cut? This is where we're practicing learning it, and then we're making sure we get everything correct. So since cut can be made into a bar chart, it is a what kind of variable. I'll put some hints on the screen to help you out while you think about, since we can make a bar chart of cut, we don't do the assignment in class, but we are covering the material. You are correct. We are going through, great question right there, Luca. We don't do the full assignment, but we do cover the material for it. It is categorical. Please note up there at the top where I have, and not here, but further up, right there. Where can I do this? Watch this. So right up here, this is where we have univariate categorical, univariate quantitative, bivariate quantitative, categorical. You see how this connects into categorical over here? Quantitative. These are bivariate, categorical, quantitative. This region right here, which I'm kind of blocking a little bit right now. This is bivariate categorical Y with a quantitative X. And then I'm currently blocking right now. Got to make the sound effects. Can't not have sound effects. Right here, which I was currently over. I think about the same size again. This is bivariate what? Who knows what these graphics, which we have not covered, that I'm blocking right in here, these would be bivariate what graphics. Bivariate means it's two variables. It's a bivariate what display. These graphics right here that I'm blocking right now are bivariate what displays. Kind of connect in like here and be like, oh, it's that a y variable of this and an x variable of this. So these would be bivariate what displays, like mosaic plots, contingency table, stacked bar charts. That kind of sounds like bar charts. Stacked side-by-side pie charts. These are bivariate, meaning two variables, and both variables are what kind of variable type? Both variables. It is bivariate what? Bivariate what? And this is a great graphic to have written down, memorized, or just practice. Bivariate categorical HCT, great job right there. 20 points for the whole class right now. It is bivariate categorical right there. Bivariate categorical. And then this is a graphic we should know and we should practice. So we are going to make a bar chart for cut. You're going to do that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make a bar chart for donate. To make a bar chart, go here to analyze. To make a bar chart, go to Analyze Distribution. Analyze Distribution is where we do univariate analysis. Fit y by x is where we do bivariate. See, it says two variables, and here it says univariate, one variable, distribution of one variable. And then fit y by x is a y and an x, which means bivariate. So practicing the terms right here. Bivariate, two variables, univariate, one variable. So let's go ahead and look at this one variable graphic we'll be making. We're going to go here and take, for my example, I am taking the donate. Remember, you're using different data. Now, the red right here means that it is categorical. So if you see this red right here, that means categorical, and the blue means quantitative. So I am making a bar chart by doing this. Here we are with our bar chart. Now, with this bar chart, I'm going to hit the red arrow and go to stack. The next thing, and I'm going to look at the instructions to make sure I get everything we need, because I don't want to make any mistakes and let you carry them through. We're going to look at the instructions, and the instructions say that on our bar chart, we need either the counts or the percentages above the bars. So that's all we need. We need the counts or the percentages. So the red arrow is where your options are at. We're going to go here to the red arrow. We're going to go to histogram options. I know it calls it a histogram, but it's a bar chart. And we're going to go on the options right here to the count axis. No, I'm not going to go to count axis. We're going to show counts. There it is. Show counts. And there's nothing wrong with going to a count axis. So let's go to histogram options and go to count axis. That's extra right there. You don't need it, but this is how your graphic should look. Who in the chat has made a graphic that looks like this for cut? Yours will have more categories than mine, but who has a graphic that looks something like this? And then when you screenshot it, make sure your screenshot looks nice and neat. Take your screenshot here and then drop it into your Word document. Now, something very important I'm going to do, great job right there, Olivia, is I'm just going to talk about it. We have right here a relative frequency table, a frequency table, and we also have the bar chart showing us the counts. Great job, Olivia. Think about this. When it comes to our donors, the list of our donors, it's very interesting to me that 72.9% of them have not donated. And this is a list of people we have to get donate from. Snipping Tool is our best friend. It's 20 points right there. We know what's going on with Snipping Tool. And we have right here that 27% or 69 of them did donate. Does everyone notice right here for the bar chart, all we're going to do is talk about these numbers. Looking at the distribution, because it's just the way the data looks, of the people who did not donate versus the people who did donate. So here's going to be about the cut of the diamond. We see the most common thing is people did not donate, with 72.9% of them not donating, which is 186 out of the 255. The people who did donate accounted for 27.059%, if you want to carry all the decimals, 27.059% of our observations, which were 69 in total out of the 255. Does that make sense what to write right here? You're basically just pretending someone can't see the graphic, and you're just going to go through and explain what's on the graphic. Does How We Look in Olivia make some more sense? You're just going to walk through and be like, the most common group for cut was this, with this many diamonds having this cut, which is this percentage. And then you could just go through and, so you want us to discuss, yep. As long as the graders are usually kind of nice about it. Like, I would just be as thorough as possible. That's the way to make sure you get all the points. But the graders are pretty nice. You could just do one. I'll oftentimes do both. Like, just like be like, well, let me just interpret everything I can. If you ever feel the graders are mean, just talk to me. But it never hurts to just add a little extra. Usually the graders want to make sure you meet a certain bar, but the higher you jump over the bar, the better. So it doesn't hurt to write an additional sentence or two to be like, oh, let me just put the little extra on there. So good stuff right here. The more you practice, if you're like, according to the relative frequency of the donors, we see here that 73% did not donate and 27% did donate. The frequency table shows us that 186 did donate, where 69 did not donate. And that's just kind of practicing the words. Think of this as practice when you're writing it down and understanding that relative frequency, and bar charts all display univariate categorical data. So those are some of the key learning objectives by doing this. Think what am I learning? What am I practicing? Well, what we can practice right here is another graphic, and the other graphic we can practice is going to be a pie chart. Remember, who knows my favorite saying? You can make a bar of your whats and a pie of your whats. I wish I could play the How I Met Your Mother scene, but you can make a bar of your whats and a pie of your whats. For those who don't know, you can make a pie chart of your favorite bars and a bar chart of your favorite pies. That's why here under my graphics thing, you see a connection between bars and pies, because bars and pies display univariate categorical data. So anything we could display with a bar chart could also be displayed with a pie chart. So when we go back and start analyzing the data here, we want to go to Graph and Graph Builder. That's Graph and Graph Builder. Nice job right there, Trevor. 20 points right there, knowing the bars are your pies and pies are your bars. So we want to go right here and go to Graph Builder. And under Graph Builder, we're going to take and go here and take a categorical variable like, is someone a homeowner? And just drop this right into here. Now, you'll be shocked. Owen Wilson, get ready. We're just going to click this button because it looks like a pie.
Wow.
Oh, you're a little early, Owen Wilson. You can't do that. You got to do it when it happens.
Wow.
Thank you, Owen Wilson. So with this right here, we see we've got a pie chart, but we want to make sure it has some labels now. Now, if you're under dark mode on a Mac or a PC, I think it's mostly Mac, you might not see the labels. I think it's a Jump 15 issue with dark mode. So if you do not see the values right here, if they do not appear, it's probably because you're under dark mode. Also, make sure to hit done once you've done this. So now you can see we actually have a pie chart right here that's complete. Let me do the process again slowly, and you can watch. So once again, we're going to go here to the very top and go to Graph Builder. So under Graph Builder, we can just put variables in. We can make bivariate, univariate graphics, anything we want. We're going to take a categorical variable. Make sure you take the one that is associated with this assignment. I'm using a totally different data frame. So I could take something like homeowner. Taking homeowner right here and dropping it into the middle just shows the data like this. This is not what we want to see. We have lots of different options here, like bar charts or pie charts. Clicking these options will change it. Awesome, Snea, drop it in the chat. We'll probably do it here. We got some more, but you got it. I'll try to answer it maybe while we're doing this. Drop it in the chat. Let me know. Next, we need to add on to this the labels. So the labels can be added down here. And this time, let's add percentages. Cool. Now, once we hit done, it should resize it. Good. We get to, might need a little bit of resizing right here. There we go. Make sure your graphic looks nice. If you notice, I'm just grabbing the edges right here and trying to make it look as nice as possible. Once we do this, we're going to screenshot it and talk about it. We should have everything we need. I'm going to look. I got some questions right here. So make sure to put the percentages, the value where the percentage is. Make sure to click done. If you don't click done, you could lose some points. Take a screenshot, put it in the Word document. Let's go back here and take our nice, neat screenshot. Here we go. Good screenshot, looking good. And then we'll go back here to our Word document and we're just going to paste it in. Command-Shift-4 on a Mac or Snipping Tool on a PC. How do we know what labels to pick for the column names? Oh, so which column you'll be using? For your assignment, you will be using color category. Does that make sense right there, Kylie? For your assignment, you'll be using color category. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Elise answering questions right there, 50 points. I think I've got some students helping out students right here. Yep. Elise, thank you so much. And Snare right there. Even though the app is technically working despite the weird errors, should I just call it a day? Yeah, do that. I'll give you full credit. Call it a day, submit it. Your app is looking great, Snare right there. Call it a day, submit it, and you'll get that 100. So you're good to go. And Kylie and everybody, great job. This is why I love having office hours like this. I'm throwing another 50 points for all the Vols help Vols in the chat right there, because we got people helping each other out, asking some big questions. And that's what I want. That's what I love seeing right here is like you can jump in, you can ask questions. I try to answer the small ones really quickly. But Snea, submit it. And thank you so much for helping Elise right here. If you hadn't joined in to ask that question, Elise got her question answered right away by getting how to do E in R. So we see right here, you'll be using this variable. And let's go ahead and interpret my graphic. Who can tell me, I want one sentence. I'm going to drink some coffee right here and listen to some music. Who can interpret one sentence of this? You're the hacker man now. Tell me one sentence. This is our donor data set, and how would you interpret one sentence right here? Like, what is one sentence you would write of this? What is one sentence you would write on this? Think of one sentence. Go a little longer. Just relax. Ugh. Coffee is good. Think about one sentence you would write. Just a very short sentence. How would you interpret this? I like that. I like that. Kylie, great job. Kylie, that's worth some 50 points. I like that. And then here's something we should always do. And this is a big tip. There we go. I like HTT. Both of you right there. Another 20 points in the chat. I would put the percentages in there. And if you combined Kylie and HDT's answer, you've got like a perfect answer. So I'll read it off here. I'm going to combine their answers. Out of our survey group, 62.4% are homeowners and 37.6% are not homeowners. There are more homeowners than not homeowners. Does that make sense right here? Oh, no worries. I'm sorry, Olivia. Don't worry, Olivia. This 20 points out here go out to Olivia. Thank you for tuning in, Olivia. And so I'll read off the answers here again. Out of our survey, 62.4% of people were homeowners and 37.6% of people were not homeowners. We observe that more people are homeowners than not homeowners. Thank you so much, Olivia, for being here. And I'll try to say as many answers as I can because we're fighting the Wi-Fi today. We don't like to fight the Wi-Fi. Let's do this last question here on this to make a histogram. Now, wait a minute. Histograms are different. Why are histograms different? What's different about a histogram than a bar chart or a pie chart? And the answer is up there in the top corner. I need my Mario size when I do this. Actually, you know what? I could. Oh my gosh, I need to make that this weekend. I could literally make something that goes like bring, 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 bring. I'm totally making that this weekend. So what is the difference between categorical? What is the difference between bar charts and pie charts and histograms? Great job, Kylie, right there. What is the difference between these and these? What are those? What are those? Look at how there's no X variable here. There's only one. They're all univariate. And what's the difference between histograms, quantitative? Great job, HTT, getting that practice in. These are what we say in 474, 475, numeric. I'm totally making the Mario thing this weekend. That's going to be a new effect. I have to make that. So I need like I could turn into Tiny Brian. Oh my gosh. I need to stop thinking of effects. I love this. I try to tell people this. If you're not having fun teaching, then your students aren't having fun in class. Well, not like you have to have fun, but like if you're really bored and you're like, I just want class to be over, or like I'm not having fun, then your students are probably not enjoying it either. Because I mean, the maximum enjoyment of class is kind of set to how much the teacher is enjoying the class. So you have to bring that excitement. You have to bring that energy. Let's try to do that here. So we need to create a histogram here, which is going to be a price. Price is going to be a quantitative variable, also known as numeric or integer in 474, 475. We're going to go to analyze distribution, where we analyze univariate quantitative data. The histogram must be in horizontal layout, have a count axis. We need to take a screenshot, including all of this right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We can go to any portion of this. We'll go back to the original data, and you can go to analyze distribution. Let's zoom in so you can see this. We're just going to try to make a nice zoom right here so you can see where I'm going. Analyze distribution. Under analyze distribution, you will get the option to take a quantitative variable right here and drop it in. The quantitative variables are what color? What color are the quantitative variables? Now that's actually an identifier. But what color are the quantitative variables? Who knows what color are the quantitative variables? Is setting quantitative? Is homeowner? The quantitative variables, anything that's quantitative here in jump, is what color? What color are all the quantitative variables inside of jump? All the quantitative variables. Now that one it's not really quantitative. It's blue. Great job, HTT, right there. Let's go to the last amount someone donated, and let's go here and make a distribution of last donate amount. And this might be in thousands of dollars, because if someone donated $2, that's nice, but I mean, we can do better. We're going to go right here after we make our distribution. And great job right there, 20 points, everyone saying blue in the chat. We're going to go right here and click the red arrow and go to stack. Stack is going to put it in horizontal layout. There's other ways to do it. I like doing it by stack. Stack puts it in horizontal layout. I like this way right here. It's my favorite way. I'm going to adjust the size of this. Not required. I'm just blind and I like things to be a little bit bigger. Now we need to go here to the red arrow. I'll pause while I do this and go to histogram options and go to count axis. This is just going to add a count axis in. You could do probability axes, all those different things, but the red arrows are where your options are at. And you could go to things like histogram color, not required, and make it any histogram color you want. Other, ooh, there, we like it. Let's go, sure. There you go. Nice teal color. You could actually make it UT orange if you go here to histogram options and histogram color. Does it have hexadecimal? Is there not hexadecimal? Hue, saturation. Oh, wait, here we go. FF. Oh, it won't let you do it. It might be 256. I don't know the 250. Oh, wait. So it'd be, yeah, 256. Oh, and then I don't know this one. That might be it. That might be UT orange. Might possibly be UT orange right there for my histogram. It looks close. I know it's FF8200 by hexadecimal color code, but I don't know its numbers otherwise. Maybe. Anyways, this is our histogram right here. So let's do the histogram one. Let's take a picture of it. Nice big picture. We're going to go right here. I'm not going to get the distribution. I don't care for that. This is what you need in your picture. So we have a good, nice picture. Let's go ahead and bring it back into Word and drop our picture in here. Now, my distribution, yours might be different. When you look at my distribution, it is very what? It's got a pretty strong what to it, especially with these outliers. And I'm basically talking about it. The things we need to talk about with the distribution are the shape, the center, and the spread. Let's talk about the shape to start. Shape is going to have in it modality. Shape is going to have in it skew or symmetric. Skew versus symmetric. And shape is going to have an outliers and gaps. How many peaks does this mountain have? How many peaks does that mountain have? Just put a singular number in the chat. How many peaks does this mountain have? How many peaks does this mountain have? It is right skew. Great job on the skew right there. Olivia, 20 points. Great job on the skew. It is right skew. It is skewed to the right. And it is unimodal. There's one peak. Just think about here, if you're going to climb this mountain, you'd say here there is one peak to this mountain. You'd be like, okay, there is one peak. These are little tiny hills leading up to the mountain. Little tiny hills, and that's the mountain, and that's just going down the mountain. So there's one peak to that mountain. Bimodality occurs when you have two pretty good peaks, but if there's not a really good separation, we wouldn't call it bimodality. So this is unimodal. Unimodal. Things can also be uniform if they're flat. That is one form, uniform. And these are things we'll be covering next class, but this is a good preview. How do we know if it's skewed? You want to look at your monster man. Who knows my saying? 20 points in the chat. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way, the what goes. Right to the high, left to the low, and this is the high side right here. Let's put a note on it. So this is the right side. It's the high side of the numbers. This is the left side. It's the low side of the numbers. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way, the what goes. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way. Kylie, great job right there, 20 points. Right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. And you'll oftentimes see outliers there, and the mean will follow the skew. These are things we'll be learning in class. So great job right there, right to the high, left to the low, whatever way the tail goes. So this is right skew unimodal, and it has some outliers and gaps. A gap is right here. There's a gap, and usually it's followed by some outliers, which are the numbers. If you trace them down, there's the outliers right there. There's the outliers and the gaps. So the mean is higher than the median would describe. So here's the issue. Now we get into what is the proper measure of center and spread. And I've already got a cheat sheet for us that we've already made up. When it comes to describing the center and spread, we need to first know the shape, right? So when we know the shape, we can then pick the proper measure of center and proper measure of spread. So what is the proper measure of center because we said it's right skewed? It's either normal or skewed. So since it's skewed, what is the proper measure of center? What is the proper measure of center? Look at this cheat sheet right here that we have. I'll disappear if you want to take a picture or write it down. What is the proper measure of center since it's skewed? Yours may not be skewed. Mine is. If it's not skewed, you'd want to use the mean and standard deviation. But since it is skewed, as HCT is saying right there, you want to use the median for center and the spread for IQR. So these right here, let's highlight them, are two different measures of center depending on the shape of the distribution. These are two different measures of spread depending on the shape of the distribution. You will either pick to use the mean and the standard deviation because it's normal, or the median and the IQR because it's skewed. Does this make sense right here? Like you look at the shape first and you say, oh, it's skewed. Well, then I'm going to use the median for the center and the IQR for the spread. You look at your distribution and say, oh, it looks pretty normal, unimodal and symmetric. That's what normal looks like. And then you say, this is totally 201. Great job, Kylie, right there. Yep. This is the practice, and this is what we'll be covering next class, hence on the visualization. So you can see right here, if it looks normal, you're like, okay, I'm going to use the mean and the standard deviation right here. If it's skewed, you'd be like, I'm going to use the median and the IQR. Is Memorial Day next Monday? Do we lose Memorial Day? Did we just lose all the viewers? Tell me Memorial Day is not next Monday. Labor Day. It's not. So good stuff right there. I'm checking my calendar. Labor Day is a week from Monday. Why am I like, I don't want a day off? I'm like, no, we can't have a day off. I need to work more. Labor Day is a week from Monday. So when it comes to this distribution right here, the proper measure of center, what is going to be the proper measure of center? Well, the proper measure of center, oh my God. Well, the proper measure of center, will it be the median or will it be the mean? Which one will be the proper measure of center right here? The median or the mean? Remember, we just said it's skewed. Will the proper measure of center for this distribution be the median or the mean? Which one should I report and tell people the center of this distribution is best described by a blank, which is the 50th percentile of last amount donated? Ah, be careful. Miguel, 20 points right there. Since the distribution is skewed, where's my graphic? Since the distribution is skewed, we said that it's a right skew unimodal distribution. So since there's skew to it, the proper measure of center is going to be the what? So since it's skewed, yours might be more normal. If you say it's normal, then it's the mean. If you say it's skewed, then the proper measure of center is going to be the what? The proper measure of center for skewed distributions will be the what? No one knows. Ah! Brian, I know the answer. You got to say it. The proper measure of center for a skewed distribution will be what? The median. Olivia, 20 points right there. Olivia, thank you so much. You are correct. Now I want you to notice something. Now we have, and you've kind of got a cheat sheet right here because it's going to help you out. Since we selected the median as the proper measure of center, I'm going to have to make it a lot smaller. You ready? Since we selected the median as the proper measure of center, we now have to pick between either the IQR, really, Microsoft Word is so weird. We now have to pick between the median or the standard deviation. Now, which of these do you, the IQR or the standard deviation? Do you think we should use the IQR or the standard deviation? Mubot, knowing some spread right there. Some hetero and homoskedasticity. So do you think we should use the IQR or do you think we should use the standard deviation? Now, look, we've already selected the median. So do you think we should use the IQR or should we use the standard deviation? Because it's almost like the standard deviation is over here on a separate part of the screen going with something else. I'm just saying, it almost looks like the standard deviation goes with this thing above it. So what do you think we should use? The IQR, which is right here next to the median, which we've already said we should use the median. Since it's skewed, we should use the median. So what should we use for the spread? What do you think would be a proper measure of spread? And it's kind of hinted for you in the output. So you've got a cheat sheet. Great job, Olivia, right there. And these things are shown to you. That is blue. I know what blue looks like. I do not like you, Microsoft Word. You are not my friend. Start having a long time ago when they updated their pens, it would do that. So if you notice right here, we have that these two are connected right next to each other. So we're going to use the IQR and the median. So you might be wondering, what is the IQR? We will be covering this more in class. The IQR is the range of the middle 50%. It stands for interquartile range. Who knows for 20 points, or why not 50 points? Who knows in the chat what percent of the data is contained between Q1 and Q3, which represents all the way going from the 25th percent of the data to the 75th percent of the data. And these are just the quarters in the data. Here's the 50th percentile, which is where the median is at. And here's the very bottom of the data. So the IQR, the interquarters represent what percent of the data? And then we just want the range of the values. The interquarters represent what percent of the data? Because they're the interquarters range. So the interquartile range, 50%. Miguel, great answers right there. 20 points. Oh, I said 50, right? Well, we get 20 and we get 50. That's how it goes when you answer all the questions. So who knows what the IQR for this data is? Who can calculate the IQR for Brian's data on the screen? Can you just see it? Imagine who would love this as a test question. I think this would be an amazing test question. Who can calculate for me the IQR of this data? Who can calculate the IQR? All I'm asking you is, how far are these two numbers apart? HDT has already said it, 10. They have a distance of 10. It's just Q3 minus Q1. If you take these numbers and do 20 minus 10, which is Q3 minus Q1, where is the 75th percentile and where is the 25th? And you just take their distances and subtract them. It's just like doing the range, because the range of this data is what? The range is 98. It's just the distance those numbers are apart. So the IQR is just the same thing, but only That's blue, apparently. Only the range of the middle 50%. So don't think of it as a complicated topic. It's just how far is the 75th from the 25th? And you can find it by putting it on screen. Jacob right there. Great work. Jacob, 20 points. Good answers right there. Let's go here. And I don't like that that's not blue. It's going to drive me crazy. Here we go. You ready? Got to do it real quick. There we go. I got it. So you can put it on screen if you want. You can go to your output, go right here, go to customize summary statistics and go to interquartile range and click OK. And there's the IQR. It's because 20 minus 10 is 10. With writing this up, we basically wrote up the whole thing right here. You just need to walk someone through. Just walk someone through, like, my distribution is, so I'm basically going to read off what I would write down. What does IQR mean? Interquartile range. So here, I'll show that again real quick before I read off my answers. It's the range of the middle 50%. Just like the range of the data is the max minus the min. Does that make sense here? That this is the biggest number minus the smallest number. If you were to put everybody in a line, I'm going to do a quick but maybe not perfect example. Maybe I ask people, how old are you? And we put everyone in a line right here at UT and we get their ages. If we were to go here to the 25th percentile, and then we kept going, and eventually we got to the 75th percentile, and this is a random sample of students, it might not be a perfect representation, but what is the range of the middle 50% of this data? What does the range, so, yeah, awesome, the good practice right here. What is the range of the middle 50%? The IQR right here would have a range of what? If this is the IQR, I might not have calculated it perfectly. It looks to be pretty accurate from my quick drawing right here. Don't worry if it doesn't turn out exactly this, but that is what we have right there calculated. And great job, Miguel. Awesome work. What is the range of this data? So that's the IQR, because that's the middle 50% of the data. So there should be 50% of the data inside of there. And then, so remember, we're just going 21 minus 19 to get the answer. So you just do 21 is up here, 19 is down here. And you just take the distance. These two numbers are apart, and they have a distance of 2. And then what is the range of the data? The range of the data is how far away is 18 from 30, and it's still the same sort of concept. We're just doing the distance these are. So the IQR is just a range of the middle 50%. So if you take 50% of the data, the middle 50% of it, you would get the IQR. Does that make more sense? Like if you see it with data points, if you ask people their age, you could go here and get how far away are the 25th percentile of the people, the bottom 25% to the top 25% and their distance. Does it always represent? Bingo. And that's why it's the interquarters. So the IQ part of it represents the so the inside quarters. And since quarters are 25%, it represents right there. And Miguel, amazing questions. That's how we learn. Because I can just say everything, but these questions are awesome right here. The interquarters, so it's always middle 50%. Middle, quarters, 25, two of them, middle 50%. And the range represents the distance they are apart. So it's just a range for the middle 50%. Just like a range for the data is how far is the biggest number from the smallest number, the IQR is just a range only for the inside, which means it won't include outliers. If there's a high number up here, it's not affected by outliers, just like the median is not affected by outliers. It's based on percentiles. Amazing stuff right there. And I'll read off my answers here for this. This is how I would write up this interpretation. Yours is going to be a bit different, I'm sure. My interpretation would be, my histogram of last amount people donated is unimodal and skewed to the right with extreme outliers of an individual who donated 100 and an individual who looks to have donated a little bit less than 60. You might have a lot more outliers, but I'm just mentioning a few. I just talked about this portion right here in green. Since my distribution is right skew with outliers, the best measure of center is going to be the median, which is 15, and this represents the 50th percentile of last amount donated. Make sure you notice I'm saying that it represents the 50th percentile. That's what the median is. Also, we will use a spread of the IQR, which is the range of the middle 50% of what people donated. Going from 20 to 10, the IQR has a value of 10. I could say like the 75th percentile was 20 and the 25th percentile was 10, giving us an interquartile range of 10. And I could say the IQR is the range of the middle 50%. Once again, the grader is going to focus in on if you understand these concepts, if you're interpreting it, if you're basically talking people through it. You should show that you know the concepts by saying something like, the IQR, which represents the range of the middle 50% of last amount donate, is 10. That's probably sufficient enough. But giving context to like, what is the IQR? How are people doing this was a big help on visualization 2 right here. Has anyone finished visualization 2 and feels confident in their answers? How are we looking? I think we've got enough time right here. When do these... Let's see. Oh my gosh, office hours about to end because I'm going to be starting up the next class. This was a really good visualization 2. Later today, we could probably go and do homework number 2 and quiz number 2. I think we've done some of that already in office hours. But who feels good about their visualization 2 right now? This was a really good walkthrough of visualization 2. Like, I think we've covered all the bases. And thank you so much, Elise, right here, for helping out at the start. It's hard when I don't have the error to fix the error because then I'm just Googling and I can't like try. And who is it? I was working with like Matt or someone on like fixing it. And we tried for like 15, 20 minutes. And we couldn't get it. Jacob, great job. We've got time for some small questions. What questions are there right now? We'll put on some chill music. I'll put it to the main screen. And great job. We've already got people up at 0.7 points. I want to mention again that you can just get tons of points. There was a lot of points during this office hours. Show up to office hours, get points. Brian has the maximum points. I am here all the time getting all the points. And I have not even gotten all my points for this semester. I'm at Brian tier, obviously. So I haven't gotten all the points for this semester. So if I don't have all the points, no one has all the points yet. Jacob, you got this. You got this. A lot of people think like I'm bad at math, I'll be bad at statistics. Jacob, you got this. These 50 points go out to Jacob right there. So you got this, Jacob. Keep showing up. Hashtag show up. Ask those questions when you're stuck. Just let me know and be like, hey, Brian, I don't understand this. And Miguel and everyone, thank you so much for asking these questions, being like, hey, can you explain this? Can you go in more depth? I've talked over the IQR hundreds of times. So literally for question 474, lab 3C. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Can I just make BAS and not print 8 positions? Probably. Not print. Yeah, probably. You have to get 50,000 points to get the... So the goal is people get 1 point extra credit. And I'll show the point structure right here. So let me go to the point structure. Let me show it to you. So this is the secret point structure. The goal is that you get 1 point on your final grade. I think a lot of people should achieve that goal. And let's go take a look at this here on the screen. So I'll zoom in so you can see it even better. Okay, so the goal is you get to 20,000, which I'm rapidly approaching, but remember, I'm here all the time, so I get points. I attend every office hours, I attend everything, I attend every single class I teach. So it looks to me like people are going to get there with the way I'm giving out points. But then these are the ridiculous tiers. Notice how to get an extra 0.2 on your grade, you have to literally go and get almost twice as much, 1.5 times as much as this right here. This is just our meme tier right here. It's our fun tier, our crazy tier. So this is oftentimes where there's no points associated with it. It says like over 9,000. It's meme tier. It's just for fun. No one's meant to literally get to that tier level. But these are the points associated. So just keep working away. It's harder and harder to get to different levels as you progress, but it's meant to get you hooked to getting those levels. And so a lot of people are in this range right now, and then you'll just see you'll go up. And so your levels will be kind of slower as they go through. You have to hook people in the beginning. This is psychology right here. You have to be like, oh, I'm getting so many points. But no, keep getting those points. What you're doing is the right thing. And you have to establish those habits at the start. We have to go strong for the first month, establish the habits, keep them strong, and then hopefully you can be successful. I try to use psychology to win. But if you get to the 1.2 points, that's amazing. Farm points. I've done that in so many MMORPGs and stuff like that. Also, how can you get additional points? Which some people are utilizing this a lot. How can you get additional points? You'll see it at the bottom of my screen right now. How can you get additional points down here? What can you do to get additional points? Kind of lasting end office hours. What can you do to get additional points? And some people have already gotten their points through it. It's actually really easy to get your points on it. How can you get additional points? Which we have pretty good communication on it. I'm trying to improve it. So Discord interactions. Yep. Hop on Discord. Just be asking questions when you're stuck. be like, hey, is there a help video for this? I can always post the help videos. And that just helps me because a lot of people are probably wondering like, hey, I'm working on visualization number 2. And, we could then post this and I can be like, yeah, in this office hours, we worked visualization number 2. And then the more people who see it, they can be like, oh, the visualization 2. And then you can just react to it. I don't know if you get points if you react. You don't get points if you react to things. But I wish there was. But just interacting is the goal right here. That's how we learn, just being here, engaging it. And Jacob's right. Turn in those project earlies. 20 points goes out to Jacob right there and everyone. We got 5 people watching. We're about to end here soon, though. Head back to the main screen. And that's how to earn those points. Keep earning points. Keep practicing. It's what we have to do. Practice, practice, practice. Really good. Some 474, some 475, some 201 in today's office hours. We will be back here later. So we will be back at 2:45 your time for an hour and a half of office hours. I'm going to do some 320 teaching here soon. Woo, 320 coming up. Oh, graduate teaching assistant visualization 1 meeting. Ah, yes. Good stuff. And I think we'll be having our first Kahoot of the semester next week. I'm trying to plan it out and make a big Kahoot and maybe get all the classes involved. So stay tuned. It'd be really crazy. And also, you have to pay for Kahoot now. Oh my God, so many things changed. Why do things change? YouTube even changed. Well, with that, any last questions here before we head off? I want to say thank you to everyone for showing up. Lots of good work done today. Lots of good practice. Any last questions? Public Shark, you have questions? Which channel on the Discord has all the people on it? I only see the admin stuff. Jacob, can you send me a message right now? Let me find you, Jacob. I'm going to find you, Jacob, and I'm going to fix it. Let me find you, Jacob. Jacob, I'm going to fix this right now for you. Cohen. Okay. If you can message me, Jacob, we'll get this fixed right now. I don't see you, Jacob. Do you see me? You might not have added the channels yet. You might not have. I can get you authorized, and I can get you added. Great job there, Frankie. Excellent work, Frankie. Can you message me on Discord, Jacob? Wait, is that you? You might have messaged me. Did you say hello? Oh, are you on the Pokemon Go server? You said hello? Okay, I got you. Let me get you added in here. Wait. Where? Okay, you're on the server. Let me find you. Okay, I'm fixing things. Gotcha. You should see it now. Okay. Let me... I'm trying to think if you have the certain name. It should change it to your net ID. Can you see the stat tool in general? So on Discord right now, can you see the stat tool in general? And thank you, Jacob, for saying that right there, getting everything fixed. 20 points, Jacob, right there, asking how to get things fixed up. Can you say hi in it real quick? I'm gonna make sure you have like right everything. In afternoon office hours, we did Viz 2 at Catherine. Do a dot right there. Sorry, let me. Wi-Fi. Thank you, John. General chat. Oh yeah, let me change your nickname. Let me do this real quick. Let me fix these things. What nickname would you like? Jacob? Maybe? Okay. Let me go back to general chat. Let's see right here. Yeah, what would you... Tell me what in the chat. I'll change it. That works? Okay, cool. Let me go fix it. Because the mods are going to be like, why is there somebody named us? How did you get them through on this? So let me go fix that. It's fun, like... Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. You're good to go. Got you fixed. You're good to go. Got it fixed up. Oh, learning how to use Discord. Being I mean, it's the Discord that students helped me create. Like, it's more work from Dennis and Dylan than mine, and I really want to thank Dennis and Dylan. Like, I've had to learn everything, but they know way more than me. And we're getting interaction. We're getting people talking. I come by after classes and stuff and start replying to things, but there's a lot of interaction going on, a lot of people talking. So especially in different channels, like people are talking sports, gamings, all that stuff. So check out the Discord, get some more points. And that's got it. Great job, Jacob, right there. Excellent work. If you have questions, let me know. I will see everybody. Thanks the first time I told it was authorized, but it didn't. Ah, we got you added now. We got you good. Awesome. If you have problems with this, let me know. Just hopping on calls here and everything can work. Kylie, let's throw everyone another 20 points. Keep earning those points. Just hashtag show up. With that, we're going to head off. We'll be back here. I'll be teaching 320 soon. And then more office hours. We'll probably do homework/quiz too. See you then, everybody. Bye for now.